Hi, my name is Mark Weir, and I'm going to show you how to do your honeydews right. Today I'm going to show you how to patch a hole in sheetrock. First thing you're going to need is a razor blade to dress out the hole. Secondly, you'll need a piece of scrap wood to back up the hole so that you have something to apply and hold your joint compound in place. You're going to need three sheetrock screws, two to hold this in place and then one to navigate it to the correct position before you can attach it to the sheetrock. Going to need a marker to pinpoint the edges of the hole so you can make sure that this is covering the most area, most surrounding area around the hole. Then you're going to need some 20-minute joint compound. This will enable us to finish the compound job today with just one application, so that's always nice. Just come back the next day and paint it. Then need some cold water and a stirring stick. Going to need a spreader for application to make sure we've got the joint compound packed into the hole very firmly. Don't want to have any bubbles. Then, of course, to do an excellent job, the only mud pan to have in the world, probably the universe, is a Honeydews Done Right mud pan. And, same goes for the mud spreader. Got to have that, it just doesn't turn out right. I don't know what the deal is. And then you need to have a kind of a well-worn sponge. No, I'm just kidding. You don't need to have a well-worn sponge. This one just is. It gets used for everything, so don't be afraid to use one that's, long as it's large, so you get good coverage. We're going to wipe down and blend in the compound when we finish this filling job, and so you'll have to have a sponge with a large surface. Doesn't have to be perfect, as you can see. Alright, let's get busy with our first step. Let's dress out this hole. Put a nice beveled edge all the way around it. It's going to be beautiful. Now that we have this beveled, you might want to just rub your fingers across the edge, the beveled edge, and knock that powder off of there so you'll get good adhesion with your compound. And then we'll take a look, something we don't have the luxury of doing when it's on a wall in a home. This, of course, is just a little fixture I've put together to show you how to do this. But let's take a look behind here and you can see what's going on. I don't know if you can tell what's going on here. The light's not that great. But this is the really nasty side of this thing. It's actually kind of clean on the exterior surface, but inside the wall, this is what's going on a lot of times, is you have this really uneven surface to work with. And so what we'll have to do is do our best to just remove this. Okay, so these big pieces, I'm going to leave what paper doesn't, and this was a raw wall, you could just drop it right inside. It's not going to make any difference. A little extra insulation there, I suppose. So, got all the big chunks off there. There's some paper, I can just leave that. That's not going to keep that piece of wood from laying flat against the inside of the sheetrock. Wow, so we're all good to go. All the chunks are gone, and now we'll just insert our backing board to hold the plaster and keep the plaster from falling down. Okay, let's make some markings so that when we have our board installed inside the wall, we can tell how far out, how much wood we have hanging behind here, so that we can drill into it. Okay, so I'll just carry the line. This is your extreme distance here for the hole. So let's just carry that through to your wood, and then we'll just run it on across. Okay. Then we're going to want to make sure that we are in the center of the hole too, so we don't have our joint compound oozing around the edges of the wood. So let's see. What's the center that way? Well, let's just go ahead and we'll look at the center of this. How about that? That's probably the logical way to do it, huh? Okay, so there's our center. We're going to have to put a screw right here, and that way it'll help us to, when we drill through the sheetrock, it'll give us like a little more force when we're holding a screw out of this hole, and we can drill right next to it, run another sheetrock screw in here, and then we can hold onto this screw, and then that'll help us put this screw in here, kind of work our way across to the other screw. All right, we feed our wood back here. Okay. All right. So there's our center of our hole. We want to make sure that it is indeed centered. Now, if we can get a screw to go in right below here, that's the challenging part. You didn't know there was going to be any challenges, did you? Okay. We'll get this to bite into the wood. See how it's pulling it in? That's awesome. Okay. I'm going to recenter it again before I run it all the way down. Yeah. See, you're going to want that screw to pull in below the surface of the sheetrock so you can mud over it. All right. I'm going to see if I can leapfrog over that and get a little closer over here to where we're going to put our screw through the sheetrock. Oh yeah, we bit right in there now. Now we can pull this screw out. Need some oil on it. Okay. Now we'll get this bad boy in there. And we'll have our whole foundation for our mud. Okay. Oh yeah, pulled it right down. Now we're below the surface. We can just mud right over that. You're going to want to take a chance on making too much mud rather than not have enough, so I put a pretty generous amount of the mud powder in there. So now we'll add some of this cold water to it. And we want to get it about the consistency of peanut butter. And if you mess up, just add more mud if you get it a little bit too watery. So we'll just get this thing going. Okay, you're going to want to really drive this stuff in here. Don't want any air pockets, as you can imagine. Kind of work it around in there. Alright, I'll put another coat. There's going to be a lot of extra, but we have to have extra to be able to dress it out anyway. Let's see what this looks like when we drag the spreader over it. forcing it down in there with a spreader also. And I just like to go from different directions too. I think that changes the force through the fluid. And then, okay, what we'll do is we'll put extra on here now so that we can blend it. I'm going to apply some more to the spreader. Just start here at the edge and just kind of build a little mound over our work. So this stuff's setting up pretty quick already. It's getting a little, it eventually gets like modeling clay where you can pretty much mold it with a sponge. We can carve this stuff too, which is a beautiful thing. Oops, whoa. Okay, see, we'll blend whatever's left, we'll just blend it up to the edge, or close to the edge. Okay, let's get our sponge and start blending. Here's the part that's really fun. It's kind of the artistry here. It's almost like using a brush. And you just want to start really far out and kind of clean up your mess, because this is going to be smooth all the way around it, hopefully, unless you got multiple holes. But go around the hard edge, where you carved everything out up to this hard line around the hole, and you're going to want to just go over it like I like to follow the line of the edge, just go along like that, and it kind of makes like a little ramp. And then, so it's kind of rounding out there. Just work your way around the edge. Okay, here's where the large surface of the sponge comes in handy. Is you basically, you're planing this out. You don't want to bear down. I've actually, if I did this enough times, it'll get enough. If like holding it very lightly like this, if I do this enough times, it'll eventually rub it smooth. Sometimes it's better than getting too aggressive with it and digging into it. Just change directions. Go one way for a while really lightly. It doesn't seem like it's doing much, but it definitely causes abrasions on the surface and a leveling force. All right, so that's it. I'm not going to mess with that anymore. That looks good. Thanks for watching my show today, folks. And if you like the results, I'm happy to take the credit. If you don't like the results that much, then I had nothing to do with it. You did it. But have a great day. Thank you. Hi, my name is Mark Weir, and I'm here to help you learn how to do your honeydews right. That's not it at all, is it? Hi, my name is Mark Weir, and I'm here to help you learn. Hi, my name is Mark Weir, and I'm here to